who threw that flag on Michael Gallup for offensive pass interference when it was nothing close to that. They were just hand fighting. Jalen Ramsey, your top paid corner, sold it. He effectively flopped, and he got away with it. You know and I know that should have been a completion, 45 yards, easy field goal, overtime. I would have won the bet.
You would have won, but you didn't win. I won, so don't be a
I got robbed.
All right, Edie gets the first one of the season. But I would like to talk about the Cowboys and everything we saw week one. Despite losing to the Rams, Mike McCarthy feels confident about where his Cowboys are at. The head coach said, quote, "We have a grading index that we've put a lot of time into, so we're closer than you may think we are." Eric, from what you saw Sunday night, does McCarthy have a point here?
Well, you know, I would have to say yes on that. And I said this on last week, that the Cowboys have a very good football team. Look, it's not time to panic. This is the first game of the season. We talked about it last week. You know, no preseason. You got to have preseason. That was almost like a preseason game. So, no, it's not time to panic. I really feel like the Cowboys will still win this division. You lost one game, the season opener. The Rams had a lot to prove being at home. The Cowboys beat them last time on the road. So, for sure. I mean, I just feel like the Cowboys have a very good football team. You got the bad, you got the good. The bad is that they had some major injuries on this road trip playing the Rams. You know, and if they can get that fixed, you know, if they can get somebody to replace those players. But I think the good is that this football team has a lot of weapons. And I mean a lot of weapons. One thing I saw the Cowboys, the Rams could not control them when they went to that almost like that speed tempo offense, almost like the Jim Kelly days in the 90s. When they went really fast, the Rams really had no answer for them because the Cowboys have a lot of weapons. I mean, they have a lot of weapons. And I think head coach Mike McCarthy hasn't had a time to really implement everything he wants. When I look at this football team right now, they remind me of the old Cowboys, you know, the Jason Garrett days, run on first down. The Cowboys are good, but they don't have that same great offensive line they had Zeke's first year. They don't have that offensive line they had most definitely had the Emmitt Smith days. So sometimes you have to throw on first down. You can't just go back and you're going to run on first downs automatically. But I feel like the Cowboys have a very good football team, and it's no time to panic for all you Cowboy fans.
Look like the same old Cowboys to me. Somehow they found a way to underachieve with all that talent. C.D. Lamb, and they got Amari Cooper, and they got Michael Gallup, and they got Zeke, and they got Dak, and somehow they found a way. But I agree with you on this point. It's the first game, and with no preseason, really no OTAs, late training camp. So this is to be expected, but I'm going to see. I believe, and what Skip and I debated this yesterday, ED, is that I believe the offense should even flow more through Zeke. Because if you look at when Zeke was running on Sunday, he looked like the old Zeke. When they went play action, Dak was 9 of 11, averaged 11 yards per attempt. On the other plays that it wasn't play action, he was 16 of 28, 5 yards per attempt. And so I think that's going to be, they should rely on Zeke. Let him eat. You paying him $15 million. You can't get in this notion. Say, well, at least we were playing Dak $30+ million. He's going to want $40 million. So we got to let him throw the ball because we're paying him all this money. They paying Patrick Mahomes $45 million, and they took a running back in the first round because they want to alleviate some of that pressure. And when they go light box, we run the ball. You go heavy, you put your base on the field, we're going to throw the ball. We're going to dictate to you as opposed to having the defense dictate to them. So I'm not going to panic about the Cowboys, but I'm not ready to be like Skip Bayless talking about they going to the NFC Championship game either.
He did not say that.
No, I said you. I didn't talk about ED.
I'm saying you're putting words in my mouth. I did not say.
Oh, they're not going to the championship game?
I said they're going to go 10-6 and win the division by one game, and I'll stand by that. And I think they could win one playoff game. That's what I predicted.
Okay.
Okay. I am obviously a lifelong, true blue, diehard Cowboy fan, and I will be the first to admit to you I was more discouraged than encouraged by what I saw on Sunday night at SoFi Stadium. My problem is that game left me flat just the way a lot of nightmarish flashback games left me flat a year ago. This offense last year led the whole NFL in yards gained. It went 8-8 because of a bunch of road losses such as, may I count the ways? These are all Fs that this man gave my quarterback. At New Orleans, they scored 10 points and lost 12-10. At the Jets, they scored 22 points and lost 24-22. At New England, they scored 9 points and lost 13-9. At Chicago, they scored 24, but again, they lost 31-24. Remember, that they had only scored 7 through 3 quarters.
Correct.
So it's completely misleading. And then at Philly, it was 17-9. So that offense, even if I give them the 24 at Chicago in those road games, they averaged 15 points a game. And Sunday night, they scored a grand total of 17.
That's y'all.
Wrong. Sunday night, they went 3 of 12 on third down. And obviously, they missed on the fourth down that
1
they
for 3.
went for. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But the point is, something's wrong with that. You got 3,000-yard receivers. You got Zeke. You got Dak, a top 10 quarterback who deserves $40 million a year. And wait a second. You only scored 17. You went 3 for 12 on third down. And the Rams are pretty good on defense. I give you that. And to your point, there's no preseason. But still, it left me flat like something is missing here. Something is not right. And then you lose Blake Jarwin, who I thought was going to be a key piece to the puzzle. I liked him a lot. I thought he could be sort of a fourth wideout.
You better get that right tackle spot fixed.
Well, you got a rookie free agent undrafted over there.
Well, good luck with that one.
Good luck with that one. And I think he's going to be there for the next 3 weeks until Lyle Collins comes back. So it's going to be a little dicey. Can they beat Atlanta? I don't know. It's like 50-50, even though they're a 5.5-point favorite. But I didn't see hopeful the way Eric seemed to see hopeful, and I hope he's right about this.
Well, now, you know I'm not a Cowboy, but I see Skip. I mean, they have a good football team, and I kind of disagree with you a little bit, Shannon, on going through Zeke right now, because this Cowboy football team does not have that same offensive line. They really don't. I mean, people talk about it, but they got a lot of pieces missing, and they really need to depend on Dak. Well, you know, I think that when Dak, sometimes he holds the ball a little too long. Look, when he has time to run, he should just take off running, because that's one thing he hasn't used enough, I think, is his legs. He has a lot of weapons. And you're talking about a team, all these teams, they haven't had no preseason. They come out, play a regular season game. Nobody's tackled in 9 months. Nobody ran real plays in 9 months was the last season. So it's going to take some time for them to get on pace with each other. This is a new head coach. He really doesn't know his team all the way because he hadn't had a preseason with him yet. So I'm not really, and I do agree with you, Skip. I think that 10 wins will win that division. I think they win more than 10 games. I mean, like I say, the Cowboys have all the pieces. They really do, especially offensively. They do have the pieces. That's if they can get them clicking. I mean, I think Zeke would rather come out the backfield and catch passes instead of running on first down and 10, run to a brick wall all the time. Because that seems like what the Cowboys do. On first down, we're going to run the football. And it's always, all right, it's 2nd and 8 or 2nd and 9. I mean, instead of, having